feeling. I stopped managing it. I just let it be what it was, enormous and real and completely mine. And then the only question was when I was going to be brave enough to let you see the size of it. That time is now. That time is this. Right here, right now, with nothing between us and the truth. I want to tell you things about the future. I know that might feel like a lot. I know that for some people, the word future sends a current of panic through the chest. But I'm not saying it to overwhelm you. I'm saying it because for the first time in my life, the future doesn't scare me. It used to. It used to feel like this vast, uncertain thing full of ways to lose and fail and end up back at zero. But now the future feels like a place I actually want to get to. Because when I imagine it, I imagine you in it. Somewhere in the picture, in every version of the picture I can see, there you are. Not as background, not as a detail, as the whole point. I imagine slow mornings and unhurried conversations. I imagine the kind of comfort that only comes from time, from knowing someone so well that silence between you isn't empty, but full of history and understanding and everything you've been to each other. I imagine being someone's person. Not in the abstract, romantic, idealized way I used to think about it when I was younger. In the real way. In the way that means showing up when it's inconvenient, staying when it's complicated, choosing someone not because it's easy but because they are absolutely, undeniably worth every bit of effort it takes. You are worth it. I want you to hear that clearly. You are worth every moment of effort, every vulnerable conversation, every wall I've had to climb over inside myself to get to this point of openness. You are worth all of it. And I know that you have probably been told things like this before, by people who didn't follow through, by people who said beautiful words and then couldn't sustain them in the ordinary reality of daily life. And I cannot make you promises about the future based on words alone. I know that. I know that trust is built in actions, in consistency, in the 10,000 small moments that accumulate over time into something unshakable. But what I can tell you, what I want you to carry with you from this moment, is the intention behind every single thing I've said tonight. The intention is permanence. The intention is you. There's something else I need to say, and it's about you specifically, not about us, not about me, but about you, who you are as a person, what you bring into this world, and into my world specifically. Because I think sometimes the people who give the most light are the ones who most need to hear that their light is seen. And I see yours. I have seen it from the very beginning. The way you make people around you feel more comfortable in themselves. The way you listen, really listen, with your whole self, not just waiting for your turn to speak. The way you find beauty in small things, ordinary things, the things most people walk past without noticing. That quality in you, that capacity for noticing, for appreciating, for being genuinely present in your own life, it's rarer than you know. And it is one of the first things about you that made me think, quietly to myself, this one is different. This one is someone I want to know completely. And the more I have come to know you, the more that initial feeling has compounded into something almost too large to hold. Because you are so much more than what's visible on the surface. The more you've let me in, the more I have understood that I am in the presence of someone genuinely extraordinary. Not in a way that puts you on a pedestal or makes you untouchable. I don't want that, and I don't think you'd want that either. But extraordinary in the true sense. Someone whose inner life is rich and deep and worth spending a lifetime exploring. Someone who has been through hard things and came out of them not hardened, but somehow even more compassionate, even more open, even more willing to believe in goodness. That is not a small thing. That is, in fact, everything. I think about the version of you that existed before I knew you. The life you were living, the things you were carrying, the quiet hopes you had for yourself that maybe you weren't sure would ever come true. And I wish, in some ways, that I could have found you sooner. I wish I could have been there for the harder chapters, not to save you from them. You didn't need saving. You never needed saving, but just to be beside you in them. To be one more person in your corner. But then I remember that we are both exactly who we are because of the chapters we lived before each other. That the timing, as painful as it sometimes feels to think about all the time we didn't have, was maybe exactly right. That we needed to become these specific versions of ourselves before we were capable of recognizing each other clearly. Before we were ready for this. I believe that. I really do. I believe that the right things find each other when the time is right, and not a moment before. And I believe that what we have, this real, layered, breathing, imperfect, beautiful thing between us, could only exist between two people who have been through exactly what we've each been through. The suffering was the preparation. The loss was the education. And now here we are, on the other side of all of it, choosing each other with open eyes. Not naively, not desperately, but fully, completely, with total awareness of what it means and what it costs and what it asks of us, and saying yes to all of it anyway. Yes to the vulnerability, yes to the risk, yes to the profound, terrifying, life-altering experience of loving another person without a safety net. Yes to being known, fully known, and staying anyway. Yes to building something together that neither of us could build alone. Yes to all the mornings and all the conversations and all the quiet ordinary moments that add up, over time, into a life. A life that I want to live with you in it. I have been thinking about what it would mean to finally stop running from the things I want. I have spent so much of my adult life in a kind of low-grade flight from my own deepest desires, convincing myself to want less, expect less, need less, so that I couldn't be devastated by the gap between what I wanted and what I had. And you have made me want to stop doing that. You have made me want to want things fully again. To put my whole heart into something, and not flinch at how exposed that makes me. Because what is the alternative? What is the point of any of this, of being alive, of being capable of feeling things this deeply, if you spend it all holding yourself back from the very experiences that make life worth living? You are an experience that makes life worth living. Being loved by you, being in the warmth of your attention, your care, your particular and irreplaceable way of being in the world, is worth every risk. Worth every old fear I have to walk through to get to the other side where you are. Worth every uncomfortable, vulnerable, exposed moment of honest communication. Worth all of it. Worth more than all of it. And I realize now, saying all of this out loud, that what I'm really trying to tell you is something that goes beyond the story of my ex and the pain of the past and the long road back to being someone capable of this. What I'm really trying to tell you is simpler than all of that, and more important, and the kind of thing that once said out loud changes the temperature of the room and the direction of everything that follows. I'm trying to tell you that you are not just someone I care about. You are not just someone who came along at the right time and made things easier. You are the person I think about when I think about what I want my life to look like. You are the standard by which I now measure everything. You are the reason I wake up willing to be brave, willing to be open, willing to try again at something that once left me in pieces. You are the reason I believe, genuinely and without reservation, that the best of everything is still ahead of me. And I have been sitting on all of that. I have been sitting on it and waiting for the perfect moment and telling myself that I needed more time, more courage, more certainty, as if I could ever be more certain than I am right now, in this moment, having said everything I've said to you tonight. As if any more time would change what I already know in the most fundamental, unshakable part of who I am. So here it is. Here is the thing I have been building toward all night. The thing that has been sitting at the center of every sentence, every story, every quiet confession I've laid down in front of you with trembling hands. I need you to hear it not just with your ears but with that place inside you that recognizes truth when it arrives. Because this is the truest thing I have ever said to anyone. This is the realest I have ever been. And I need you to know that when I say this, I am not performing it. I am not hoping it will land well or be received a certain way. I am simply, finally, after all this time and all this fear and all this careful, painstaking work of becoming someone capable of meaning it completely, I am telling you that I love you. Not past tense, not conditionally, not as something I'm still figuring out or approaching cautiously. Right now, fully, with every part of me that is real and present and alive, I love you. And what I need you to know, what I need you to sit with after everything I've told you tonight, is that this love is not like anything that came before it. It is not borrowed from old feelings or recycled from old wounds. It is new. It was made here between us by us, out of everything we've shared, and everything we've shown each other, and every moment we chose to stay, when leaving would have been easier.